Well, we're supposed to be looking at a video, a TikTok video from Mayor Rognstad, Mayor Shelby Rognstad out of Sandpoint. One where he set to the tune of Eminem's Without Me. Problem is, there it is. How about we hit that?
I said this looks like a job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so empty without me.
Okay, so well, at least now it is without him, because this is what the situation is when it comes to running for governor. You see, Mayor Rognstad took some time to record that video outside the governor's office last Friday, the day he filed to run to fill the office of governor. Happened to be the same deadline for filing, except as of yesterday, the Secretary of State's office official list of candidates for governor is without him. Here's what we understand happened. Mayor Rognstad intended to file as a Democratic candidate for governor, and he did on the day of the deadline. That would be March 11th on Friday. Problem was, he was already registered as a Republican. So his party affiliation didn't match his filing status. Rognstad registered as a Republican back in March of 2020, just in time to vote in the presidential primary that year. Then in October of last year, Mayor Rognstad claimed to have switched his party affiliation to Democrat, except either it didn't go through or it got lost in the mail or something happened, but the switch was never officially made. So when he did file on Friday as a Democrat, he was still registered as a Republican. According to the Secretary of State's office, all that confusion could have been avoided if, A, Rognstad had made sure his voter affiliation matched his filing form ahead of time, or B, he submitted a party affiliation form that is stated in state code to be turned in with the filing paperwork to make sure a candidate is officially affiliated with a political party. Except according to Secretary of State's records, Rognstad didn't change his voter affiliation until 7:58 Friday evening, nearly 3 hours past the filing deadline. And when trying to certify that list, the Secretary of State's office noticed that discrepancy, and then they tried to call Rognstad to tell him, to let him know, because, well, it was too late to do anything about it, but, at least to let him know. Rognstad's name was not on the official list released Friday evening, unofficial list released Friday evening, and it wasn't on the official list released Monday either. In a letter to the Secretary of State's office sent Sunday, Rognstad's campaign manager, Ethan Schaefer, claimed party affiliation shouldn't matter anyway, because Idaho code only said political party candidates shall declare their party affiliation in their declaration of candidacy and shall be affiliated with a party at the time of filing, just any party. So it shouldn't matter that Rognstad was registered Republican voter but filed to run for governor as a Democrat. However, that's not how the Secretary of State's office interprets that code. They tend to focus on another grammatical article in Idaho Code 34704.
Candidate shall be deemed affiliated with the political party if the candidate submits a party affiliation form along with the declaration of candidacy, and the key there being along with, meaning they would be submitted together. One of the arguments that we've heard is that the party affiliation was irrelevant, and that's just both seems illogical, doesn't seem to line up with what statute has, and on the surface just sounds absurd. Why would we, when we designate on a ballot that someone is a Republican or a Democrat based on the primary, why would we have someone from another party in that primary?
Well, the statute doesn't say that it has to match, does it?
If we go fully up to go back one more sentence in there, all political party candidates shall declare their party affiliation in their declaration of candidacy and shall be affiliated with a party at the time of filing. And then you take the next sentence, a candidate shall be deemed affiliated with the political party, meaning the one that was declared, if the candidate submits a party affiliation form along with. If any party worked, why would you need to change one? You wouldn't need that entire second sentence.
Deputy Secretary of State Chad Houck told us they reviewed their ruling with the Attorney General's office, and they concluded their original position per statute that Rognstad didn't file the proper paperwork to qualify as a candidate for governor, and that was going to hold up. However, that belief is still being contested by Rognstad. Fittingly, late this afternoon, we were able to speak with Rognstad about this ruling.
Clearly, the Secretary of State and myself and my attorney have a different interpretation of that code. But it states quite clearly that your party affiliation at the time of filing does not have to match your filing on the form.
If you don't think it matters, why go back and change the voter affiliation?
I knew that there was a problem because it had been too long since, I filed that early that afternoon on Friday. And it was at that point late in the day. It was 5 o'clock and after 5 o'clock, and I realized it should have been posted at that point. Yeah.
Why did you register as a Republican in the first place?
Yeah, good question. So, like most Idahoans, I'm an independent thinker, and I vote for the candidate that I think is going to do the best job, right? And sometimes that's a Republican. Usually it's a Democrat, but oftentimes I don't even have a choice. Oftentimes, I'm here in District 1 up in Bonner County. Oftentimes I don't even have an option to choose a Democrat. There's only Republicans running.
I guess the moral of the story is don't wait to the last minute so you can make corrections if you need to, right?
Fair enough. Yeah, believe me, if I could do it again, I would not have waited till Friday afternoon and filed.
Deputy Houck told us even if Rognstad had filed even earlier in the day, that discrepancy might have been noticed and Rognstad could have refiled before the deadline of 5 p.m. As of right now, there's only one Democratic candidate for governor on the ballot. That's Stephen Height from Marsing. Rognstad says he is pursuing all of his options, including legal ones, to be on the Democratic ticket for either the primary or the general election. We also spoke with another Idahoan who filed to run for senator on Friday, but whose paperwork was rejected for the same reason. Dan Proskin was a registered Republican, but he filed on Friday as a Libertarian. And Houck told us more than 400 people filed to run for office before Friday's deadline. Close to 390 of them navigated the paperwork successfully, including a handful that had issues with their paperwork that had to be corrected. They filed them, though, in time to correct them.